Yahweh Shemi Awashai, Bahashem Kodash, double honors to the elder apostles and elder bishops of GMS, including the elders that came before them that taught us his truth. A shalom and salutation to all the brothers out pushing the word, the truth and in sincerity, the hopeful elect tabernacle of David. Shalom and salutations to all of the Aqua, listening and learning, being the pillar of rest. All right. Quick lesson and admonishment. All right. Here we go again. Be ready. Be ready for what? This devil has one play. Okay. Going back to smallpox. Smallpox blankets was big. It was a big event or a psyop, if you will. All right. If you understand what smallpox blankets are. Let's get that real quick. What does the... Let's type this in. Real quick. Going in the spirit here. Okay, smallpox blankets. Let's see what comes up. Not no damn myth. The scheme. Okay. Okay, so let's see what this says. The History Channel. Yeah, right. Did colonists give infected blankets to Native Americans as that? There's evidence that British colonists in the 18th century America gave Native Americans smallpox-infested blankets at least once, but did it work? What do you mean, but did it work? That means that they did it. Okay? It says, the gifting of blankets and linens contaminated with smallpox, the virus causes American colonist warfare against Native Americans often was horrifyingly brutal. But one method they appear to have used, perhaps just once, yeah, shocks even. What do you mean just once? That's all it takes. Right? They're trying to explain it away. Well, we didn't really exterminate the Native Americans. Look at this. Here's the blankets. Oh, we got gifts for you. A gift destroyeth the heart, the mind, body, and soul. Anyway, there's your smallpox blankets. What is it? What is smallpox blankets? They're at war. Jake didn't know he was at war. Here, I got a gift for you. Nigga, you're at war. That's the enemy. Know your enemy. Never trust thine enemy. How can you apply the precepts if you don't know who your enemy is? Okay? Anyway, let's go to Ecclesiastes. All right, so that was in the 1800s, whatever. Shoot, they've been doing that going way back. Ecclesiastes 1 and 9, we'll read it in the NIV. What has been will be again. What has been done will be done again. What? Smallpox blanket, biowarfare. There is nothing new under the sun. History merely repeats itself. Where do we go? Where's smallpox? Did colonists? History, is this not history? It's the History Channel, right? What's this? History, the history of given biological warfare. Okay? See how the spirit works? The History Channel, biological warfare. Ecclesiastes. History merely repeats itself. Well, in this case, it's biological warfare. It has all been done before. What? Biological warfare. Nothing under the sun is truly new. This devil's got one play in his playbook, right? One of those biological warfare. Okay, so let's see. Oh, we got one more after this. Let me see. Luke 21 and 11. Let's read it in the NIV. There will be great earthquakes. We had one the other day when they were running that PSYOP in California. Famines, plural. See that? Famines, like famine of the word, that's one. Famine of food and water, that's plural, more than one. And what? Pestilences, plural. Famines, plagues, plural. Pestilences, plural. Pestilences, plural, 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 meaning more than one. Plagues in various places. And deadly and devastating pestilences, plagues, epidemics. Okay? We're just reading the scriptures and getting some insight. Plagues, pestilences, terrible diseases. People starve to death and suffer terrible diseases. Why? Because this devil is busy at work. All right? Now, if you don't know what's going on, dreadful diseases in various places. Why? Why? If you don't know already, they're bringing this thing back, right? They're about to lock everything down again. The light bringer, what's his name? The brother Aharon? The brother Aharon, Men of Valor. He brings it out a lot. Might have to go and grab one. Let's do that real quick. Let's see. Let's go to Aharon real quick. There it is. Is this the Men of Valor? Let's see. That's 3 weeks ago. Okay, so this is his other channel. It's Men of Valor. It's Lightbringer. The brother. Shout out to the brother. Lightbringer. Let's see what he says here. Okay. Warning before the warring. Warning before the warring. What is this? Okay. We might have to go into it a little bit. Let's take a look. Let me see. Does he have anything in the community? Day of Atonement. No. Short playlist. That's 34 minutes ago. Hold on. It's really happening, Bakar. What is really happening? They're bringing out that they're doing this again. What are they doing again? Lockdowns and restrictions in the forecast. That's the Elder Malcolm. Okay, let's check this out real quick, because what are they saying? Let's look at this real quick.
I'm not asking what's in the infusion. I'm not looking up all of the ingredients in the infusion. I am sticking out my arm and I am taking the infusion.
This is a book of Psalm, in verse 16. The Lord Yahweh is known by the judgment which he executeth. The wicked is snared in the work of his own hands.
This is 2 days ago.
Haggion, Selah. Psalm chapter 9, verse 16. Shalom. What is started by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Racha, Kodash. Double honor to our venerable apostles and elders of Great Millstone, who well, and peace and salutations and blessings, of course, to the elect. All right, the house of David. All right, starting with the 144,000. All right, and down to the men, women, and children.
Let me see what he's
It'll make more sense. All right, and the military is going to be the ones to conduct the next, pandemic with FEMA. All right, the CDC, and how do they know?
So basically, what he's saying is that they're going to do this again. Okay. Now let me go back here because he had the elder Malcolm from, where is it? I want to see this real quick.
But you know, these people have a lot of money. They have a lot of influence. They
So look, bear with me. I'm letting the spirit ride here. Oh, that was okay. Well, anyway,
evil messengers still work.
Lockdowns and restrictions in the forecast. What is this going into? It's going into why did they lock this place down last time? Okay. I suggest that you watch these videos. Okay. This is GMS Maccabean Spirit Ba. Lockdowns and restrictions in the forecast. And then the brother, Lightbringer, right? We just watched. His video is Warning Before the Warring. Playtime is almost over. I suggest you watch those. But anyway, okay, back to the situation at hand, which is what? Let's watch a little bit of this. Let me see if I can find it. What was it? It was, I might have to track it back. So bear with me while I try to
I'm not.
recapture this. Yeah, Jake is just going to take it, lying down, if you will. Okay, so this is one day ago, The Dive with Jackson Hinkle. Top Russian official speaks out against what? This is very important. Okay? Okay? When you understand where CV19 came from, when you understand this guy, Anthony Fauci, right? What is this? 8 minutes. Let's watch this because it's going to say a whole lot. This is one day ago. The warnings before the warring is out there. What warning? They're about to lock this place down again. What's going on in Eastern Europe with Russia fighting against Ukraine? What happened in the Sudan? What happened in Fresno, California? All right. If you don't know these things, you don't know what's coming, and you're not ready, right? Like back in the day, the elder apostle used to say, "Sarah Suitin not ready," right? All right. Anyway, let's watch this.
You might remember that the other day we covered the discussion surrounding biolabs. Tucker Carlson had a conversation with RFK Jr. about biolabs. They exposed some absolutely critical information. But if you missed it, I want to share that clip again with you right now before we get into the next segment.
Tory and Nuland kind of blithely announced during congressional testimony last year that, oh, by the way, we have these biolabs in Ukraine.
Yeah.
And that was like kind of ignored, and the people who covered it got attacked for covering it. But the fact remains there are U.S. biolabs in Ukraine. Why would we have biolabs in Ukraine?
I'm going in for two reasons. I'm invading, if you want to call it that, special military operation. For two things: for the Nazis, to wipe out the Nazis, and to stop them biolabs. Okay, because they knew about them. And when you put biolabs together with what happened 3 years ago when they shut the whole planet down, right? They shut the planet down because of biolabs and bioweapons. All right? That can't be ignored.
We have biolabs in Ukraine because we're developing bioweapons. And
Wait.
you know,
What did he say? Now he's just coming out and saying this is JFK's nephew. We have biolabs, not Iowa, biolabs in requirement because we're developing bioweapons. This is an insider. Okay. He's one of the two horns, right? Speaking like a lamb, right? I don't even know if he's a Republican or a Democrat. They're supposed to be putting him up with Trump. But anyway, listen closely. He's telling you we're developing bioweapons. Like where? In Wuhan? Remember that? He's going to bring it all up. Listen.
Bioweapons. And, and those bioweapons are using all kinds of new synthetic biology and CRISPR technology and genetic engineering techniques that were not available to previous generation. They can make
Genetic engineering techniques. What does this mean? It means race-specific bioweapons. And niggas, listen, niggard, this is a smallpox blanket of today. Smallpox blanket, we just get a little pathogen, put it on there. No, now they know exactly how to get a gadite. This one's specifically designed for Gad. This one's specifically designed for Judah. Okay? Why? Because you can't tell a Judite by looking at him. You see a straight up what would appear to be an Edomite, that's Judah. But the race specific bioweapon knows. Okay? Got to give this devil his credit. He's a perfect devil.
frightening stuff. What happened was, when we walked away from, when the Patriot Act reopened the bioweapons arms race in 2001, the Pentagon began putting a lot of money into bioweapons, but they were nervous at that time because if you violate the Geneva Convention, it's a hanging offense. And they weren't sure that provision in the Patriot Act would actually hold up as a loophole to treaties that had been ratified by Congress. So they were nervous about actually going full force into bioweapons development. So they transferred the authority for biosecurity to one agency in the HHS.
Okay, so he's giving you a timeline. And within this timeline, guess whose name pops up? And this is military. Okay? He's going to connect what's going on to the military.
Called the National Institute for Infectious and Allergic Diseases, run by Anthony.
Anthony who? That should be a capital F. Okay. Wait a minute. He's bringing this together with what? The military making it a bioweapon.
So Anthony Fauci got all the responsibility for bioweapons development.
What?
He got at that time a 68% raise from the Pentagon.
The Pentagon is what? The military. Anthony Fauci's in the military. The Army. The ones that specialize in war. You're at war. Who are they at war with? Well, who is the bioweapon designed to kill? That their enemy. And if you think it's the Russians, you're a dumbass.
In order to do that work. So, and that's why he was the highest paid official in the American government of 4 million people in the American. He gets more money. He got more money, $450,000 a year than the president.
Who is the president? President has a title. It's called the Commander-in-Chief. That means he's at the top of all the militaries. He's the commander of all branches of the military. The president is. Okay? So how is Anthony Fauci getting more money than the Commander-in-Chief in the military?
any Supreme Court judge, any member of Congress, he was the highest paid. And it's because he got that 68% raise from the Pentagon to do bioweapons development. Now, when you do bioweapons development, every bioweapon needs a vaccine. So you develop them side by side. Because in 100% of the cases, when you deploy a bioweapon, there's blowback. Your side also gets sick. So in order to deploy one offensively, you need a vaccine to counter it. So you need to vaccinate your team before you deploy it. So those two things are developed through a field of science called gain of function.
Now, what did he just say? Let's take that back just a little bit, because what he said is very crucial to everything going on. Let's go back a little more. Okay. It says both sides get sick when you deploy. I gotta go back. Okay. It says both sides. The other side also gets sick. So in order to deploy one offensively, what? A bio, you need a vaccine. I didn't mean to say that. Right? So while you're developing the pathogen, right? The V word, the VI, Russ, right? You have to, at the same time, create the antidote. This is what he's saying. Pay attention. Listen to this. In 100% of the cases, when you deploy a bioweapon, there's blowback. Your side could get sick too. Listen.
Blowback. Your side also gets sick. So in order to deploy one offensively, you need a vaccine to counter it. So you need to vaccinate your team before you deploy it. So those two things are developed through a field of science called gain of function science, where you take.
Okay, so here's what he said. Now, if you understand what he said, before you deploy the bioweapon, you have to vaccinate or give your team, the people that you don't want to be affected by it, you have to give them the antidote. Okay? What the hell do you think is in that vaccine? Not the antidote. Okay? They get the antidote. All right? So when you see a voluntary demon, movie star, if you will, who's telling everybody to go get it, he's getting the antidote. He's not getting the vaccine. Use your mind, use your brain.
Infectious, where you take an infectious microbe and you amplify its infectivity.
This is gain of function. He's describing, giving you what gain of function means. All right? This is all what's going on right now and why you're about to be locked down again. So
It's called gain of function science, where you take an infectious microbe and you amplify its infectivity.
So that this time, instead of, oh, well, he barely got sick and you couldn't even tell, next time, bleeding from orifices, orify, zombies, perhaps. Okay? What did Bill Gates say? He said, oh, well, this time we'll get their attention. Remember that.
Where you make it jump species, so it may kill monkeys, now you make it kill humans. And you adopt it that way, and there's all kinds of methods, right? And then you make it immune to antibiotics and to therapeutic drugs and to other therapies. So it's actually the inverse of medicine. For 2,800 years since Hippocrates, doctors have been trying to figure out how to make microbes less infectious and less deadly and develop antibiotics and therapeutics to do that. Well, the guys who are involved in this, there's 36,000 what are called life scientists, but they're actually death scientists, who are now employed full time in developing, microbes that can be used to kill people.
That's the devil. So they've been working at this for a long time. Now they got it together. Now they're moving forward. Okay? And even the last time, which was 3 years ago, they have improved upon that. Now they're ready to roll it out again. Okay? Here's what's being said. All right? Here's what's being there. This is a smoking gun. Right? He's saying, here's what they do. Right? It's about to be done again.
Those are all verifiable facts, okay? We have 45, 46 US run biolabs in Ukraine. Now the truth is starting to spill out because the Russians are seizing these biolabs that were doing gain of function research. They were being operated by the United States and US programs, US funded programs. And a lot of the work that was being done in these high-level biolabs with dangerous gain-of-function research, guess what? It was being funded and approved through the DoD by Metabiota. Who's one of the co-founders and main investors of Metabiota? Hunter Biden.
So it's coming down from who? The commander-in-chief. This is the commander-in-chief's son, right? Now, all of that, when did those biolabs start? Under whose administration? Barack Obama. Well, who was the vice president at that time? This guy's dad was. So they've been working at this for a while. Now they're about to release round 2 on your ass.
Yep, Hunter Biden. Okay, so now Russia's highest ranking biological military official just went on TV and accused the US and Big Pharma of doing this to the world. Regardless of what you believe, global tensions are at a critical mass and the situation should have your utmost attention, okay? Now, Russia's not the only one warning about this. China as well. Russia and China demand justice for COVID-19. Meanwhile, the U.S. covered up the gain-of-function origin, censored scientists and journalists, profited immensely, and have shown zero interest in investigating who is responsible. Logically speaking, the answer is obvious. Those who have nothing to hide do not weaponize every lever of government and the private sector to cover up the truth. Flashback to March 24th of 2022, Chinese military spokesman Wu Qian speaks on the U.S. biolabs in Ukraine and their nefarious global biological network. The chickens are coming home to roost. Let's take a listen.
该披露的消息，乌克兰
According to open sources, dozens of biolabs in Ukraine operated under the U.S. Department of Defense's commands. I think there's 46. These U.S. activities severely lack transparency while having undeniable safety risks, he says. Previously, many locations of U.S. overseas biolabs saw outbreaks of rare infectious diseases, which triggered protests and questions in multiple countries. These are important reasons that the U.S. biolabs in Ukraine arouse broad concern in international society. What is the real intent of these U.S. research projects? Why doesn't the U.S. disclose the details related to these research projects? What's the relation between the U.S. overseas biolabs and its Department of Defense?
The military. Listen to the verbiage.
The U.S. did nothing but scientific researches and disease surveillance in these labs in Ukraine. Why is the Department of Defense deeply involved? Hunter Biden utilized his influence to get DoD approval for Metabiota to do this testing. Over the past 20 years, the U.S. alone has been opposed to building a multilateral verification system under the biodynamic whitening complex. Why? The United States owes the world a clear explanation of these 5 questions. We urge the U.S. side to take an open, transparent, and responsible attitude. Seriously respond to the concerns of the international community, earnestly fulfill its convention, give a full account of its biological military activities at home and abroad.
Huh? Where? Fulfill its convention give a full account of its what? Biological military activities. Where? At home. Do you know what this means to me? In this sentence, it means in America. Then it says and abroad, meaning the rest of the known world. But at home, that means America. What does that mean to me? It means California. We'll get there.
Military activities at home and abroad. Okay? So there you have it. Top Russian biological military officials with some very, very big claims that they're coming out and making. Chinese officials worried about what the U.S. is really doing in these biolabs. Michael?
I think they know. I think the Chinese know. We'll prove that.
Question for all of you. You can answer in the live chat comment section. What do you think the U.S. is doing in these biolabs? Are you content with the narrative that they push, that they shove down your throat, that it's just measly scientific experiments? Or do you think that there's something more nefarious at play?
Let's find out. Okay. So, what was this about? Biolabs in the Ukraine, right? What about, okay, so this is after what? Wuhan, right? This is after Wuhan. Where's Wuhan? China. Where did CV-19 come from? China. A biolab in China, right? The Kung flu. China. China did this. China did that. That's what your boy DJ Trump said. So let's count them off. China 1. Ukraine 46 over there, but let's call that 2. And what happened 3 months ago? WHO warns of what? Biological risk after lab seized in what? In the Sudan. Okay. Sudan conflict, huge biological risk 3 months ago. After Sudan fighters occupy labs, says who? So if you don't remember this, which I remember clearly, you know why I remember this clearly? Because all of this is a pattern. This is in, okay, so we got Wuhan, China, 1. We got Ukraine, 2. We got the Sudan, right? Cholera biolab 3 months ago, right? Sudan war spiraling out because there's a war going on over there. You think they ain't got bioweapons over there? You understand? Do you see what's going on here? Okay. Now, because I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up, but they're about to do what? What are they about to do? They're about to do this again. What does this say? 3 weeks ago, CV lab found. Lab? Secret biological lab. In Reedley. Reedley is right up the street. I guess I gotta say it now. This is in Fresno. Fresno County investigates mysterious lab in an abandoned warehouse. Okay. CDC finds infectious agents at illegal California lab. Wait a minute. And what was in there? This is the same lab. Okay. This lab, right, as you see it here, right, as you see this here, this is in Reedley. Before they moved it to Reedley, it was in Fresno. Fresno is, 30 miles tops from Fresno. So the lab was let's see, started, right, and funded since 2017, right? Look at this. Is that Palka? In 2017, right? All the way through CV, all the way up to like 3 weeks ago. Mysterious Chinese biolab uncovered in California. What? Will the world demand transparency? How did this just get buried? And now we're doing what? We're getting ready to lock down again. This is in the States. This is in California. Okay. Let's look at this. Let's lock it. Bear with me for a moment. Commercial out of the way.
In the US have spent months probing a warehouse in Fresno County that they suspect was home to an illegal, unlicensed lab business that was running with a lot of medical waste and hazardous materials, as well as being full of mice. According to court documents, city officials inspected this location on 3rd of March for building violations and found various chemicals being stored. On the 16th of March, an inspection by county public health officials allegedly turned up medical devices thought to be developed on site, such as COVID and pregnancy tests. The court documents added certain rooms of the warehouse were found to contain several vessels of liquid and various apparatus, as per the Fresno County public health staff. They've also observed blood, tissue, and other bodily fluid samples and serums and thousands of vials of unlabeled fluids and suspected biological material.
Okay, so what does that mean? What do you mean pregnancy? Pregnancy goes into it goes into, how will we put it, race specificity, yeah? Okay, well, who's getting pregnant? Well, if we can control this specific pregnancy, right? What's going on here? All right. So the point is this. They're about to do a lockdown again. Why? Because they know that they got something right. This is what was there. CV, HIV, herpes, hepatitis. These are sexually transmitted disease. What happens after you have sex? Well, you have a baby. That brings in pregnancy tests, right? What are they testing for? This goes into race specificity, okay? Because they know that if a Jake man impregnates any woman, it's going to be a Jake. Okay, so anyway, there's that. Now, this guy, let's see what he said again right here. Let's play this back.
What do you think the U.S. is doing in these biolabs? Are you content with the narrative that they push, that they shove down your throat, that it's just measly scientific experiments? Or do you think that there's something more nefarious at play?
Well, let's see what they're doing. Let's consult the precepts and see what they're doing. I'm going to show you the race specificity of what they're doing. And I'm going to show you who's involved. Psalm 83:3. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, who are the Lord's people, Israel, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. So this is race specific. What are they saying? They're after this specific race. What are they trying to do? Cut them off. Let's look at some synonyms for cut them off. Let us destroy them as a nation. Let us wipe out the nation of it. This is what they're doing in these biolabs. We will destroy the very memory of its existence. Come, let us wipe them out as a nation. Erase them. Cut them off. Wipe them out. Just utterly destroy them. Wipe out, destroy, cut off, wipe out, destroy, erase. Okay? Annihilate. This is what the Bible says they're doing. Who? Who's doing it? They have said, come, let us cut them off. They have taken crafty counsel. They have built biolabs all over the world and came up with race-specific bioweapons. Who is they? So-called white man. The Arabs. The Chinese. Who? Who's in Fresno, California? The Chinese and the so-called white man. Right? Doing what? Planning, making plans, and making good on those plans to do what? To destroy a specific race. Okay, so it's all here. Here's the plan. Okay? It says cut them off. Well, who's at the top of the list? Okay. These two right here. This is the top level of the Edomites. Amalek is the top level of the Edomites. So this is basically synonymous. Right? So this is Wuhan, China right here. Edom and Moab. That's Wuhan right there. Okay. So starts with Edom, huh? This is Genesis 27:41. Let's get the word kill. Genesis 27:41. And Esau the Edomites hated Jacob, the Israelites, because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, which is his mind, days of mourning for my father are at hand. Then will I slay my brother Jacob. It didn't say kill, it said slay. There's the target of the smallpox blanket, of the 2023 smallpox blanket campaign, right? The 2023 smallpox blanket campaign. Here we are. So when these lockdowns come up in September, let's see what we can get here. Get anything? One day ago. Why does this just pop up? Okay, 4 days. 4 days. Cases are rising. New boosters in the pipeline. Booster for what? Doesn't it take at least a year to determine what we're dealing with and how to fix it? No. Nope. Whatever they're about to distribute, right? They already have the antidote. They already have the vaccine. Right? Isn't that what RFK said? They already have it. Look at this. New variant pushes up the. This is the chatter. A year ago, Biden said, we already know. All right. 4 days ago, hey, this is what I typed in lockdown coming. This is what came up. How the preparation for the lockdown. See this? The preparation. New requirements for SNAP. How did that come up? You have to get that shot, right? Can you imagine what this says? Why is this 3 days ago? New requirements for SNAP. Who gets SNAP? Esau gets SNAP too, but a lot of those proposed Edomites are actually Jakes. And they know that. That's why they need this bioweapon, because the bioweapon is specific. The next pandemic, even deadlier. Remember bleeding from the orifices? Then CV is coming. This is 2 months ago. We need to prepare for the next 6 days. Dr. Scott Gottlieb, Eris isotoner gloves, is more pathogenic than prior variants. Lockdown a month ago. Will there be? You see this? Vaccine mask mandates coming back. Here we are 13 days ago. Do you see this? Mandates back 10 days ago. Canada will likely see rise by late August. Oh, we're in late August. This is 13 days ago. You see what they're saying? It's pretty simple. We're laying the groundwork, right? And here's the culprit. We have to be prepared. Yeah, you do. Time is short. All right? Your time is short. We know the plan. All right? He hath but a short time. We'll go ahead and I'm going to close out. Revelation 12. Is that enough information for you? Revelation 12 and 12. Therefore rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath. Why? Because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. Okay? All right, so with that, we hope that the elect were edified. Sorry for going so long. Shalom.